to speak. Hello and welcome to All About The Gers. It's myself, Ricki Neill, and I'm joined by Charlie Miller, Derek Ferguson. We've got a special guest, Jamie Martin, back again as well. Big thank you to all our sponsors. We've got Mr. Singh's India, Avia Signs, DB Dental Care, Plugged In Business Solutions, and the Loudon Tavern at Ibrox. As you may have noticed, last week we had a bit of a technical problem last Sunday, and the computer basically packed in. So we've got a temporary setup now, and hopefully you can all hear us. And it was a pity because last week, Charlie, we had a nice curry for Mr. Singh's. Yep. He's actually started selling curries in Costco, but we were eating them live in the show last week, you know. But Derek, it's good to see you back after your surgery. How are you?
Aye, good, aye. I went in last Thursday. So it's weird getting into Glasgow. You normally go into Glasgow for a wee night out, a wee day out. Well, I did go in for a wee day out, but I come back with a new knee. I went in Thursday morning, back out Thursday night with a new knee.
Right. So, you look a lot smaller, Derek. Did they cut your legs off?
Well, they says you can give you a head reduction for a good discount. I've got a new venue because I have to get my feet elevated. I'm trying to do all the right stuff and all that. So that's amazing, by the way.
The first time in your life.
You get in, Charlie, you get in the morning, you're back out at night. It's up in Bar Street.
Talk about trying to do the right thing.
What do you mean? What's that?
I'm saying you said you're trying to do the right thing, and I said for the first time in your life.
I know, it'll no last, won't it? No. So I just feel a wee bit kind of the shackles are on because I hate being stuck in the house and that. So I got it yesterday. I went to get the Wayne for the school, Isla. So that was, I need to get out a wee bit more. But aye, I'm a new man, Charlie.
Good on you.
Good. Right, obviously we had to cut it short last week, so we'll maybe talk a wee bit about last week as well. I was at the game last week. Me super sub hospitality again. I got a call at 2:30 and I was in hospitality within 5 minutes, so it was great. But do you know, being back at Ibrox, see the sound, the fans in the first half, and the football was actually really good for the first half. And it's the first time I've been at Ibrox for a long time that there's been another section that started to singing Ibrox instead of Union Bears. You know, it was just a buzz about the place, Charlie. You know, and it's not been like that for a long time. But then the second half happened. What was your thoughts in the game last week?
I didn't see the game because my kids were playing at 2:15, 2:30 at Giffnock, so I missed the game. But by all accounts, it was 4 great goals. Asgard scores his first goal, which is good, but I'm still not having this boy. I don't think he's the answer.
Aye.
But supposedly the first half is the best I've probably played all season.
Aye. Derek, watching the game last week, the first half especially, I thought the players looked free. They looked like they were...
We spoke about that. That previously they probably were asked to take on far too much information. And it was like young Smith just went like that. Listen, guys, you're good players, just go out and express yourself and show what you're all about. So it was nice to see them playing with a wee bit of freedom. But the other side it is, Ricky, there's a real fragility about the group as well. And it was proven to be in the second half.
Aye. And you know, it's like everybody's saying that I can't start criticising the new manager. And I'm not going to criticise the manager, but what I'm going to do is criticise the people that have chosen this manager, because I actually feel sorry for them, because bringing in a 36-year-old manager, and again, he's got the same kind of thing about the Russell Martin. It's as if the fans didn't actually really want this guy either. And I think that's a bad way to start off. And, you know, I was in the Closer bar yesterday and I was talking to the chef. He was a Celtic fan, right? But he actually said something and made me think. He says, Ricky, he says, I just don't understand that choice of manager. He says, me now, the age I'm now, I've got so much more experience being a chef than I did when I was 36. And it's the same with football. But what do you think about it, Jamie?
I think it's a strange one. If I'm completely honest, I know 3 or 4 candidates that were in before him. We obviously mentioned Stevie G. And obviously, the Stevie G situation, they couldn't get that over the line. And everybody knows. It's plain and simple to see that he wanted to be in charge. Thirlwell's got different ideas. So I completely understand why they went for a guy who's probably, in my view, fifth in line. But regardless if he's fifth in line or whatever, I see it that he's, I think, by reading the history back in the club, I think he's the third youngest manager we've had. I think Graham Souness was probably the last youngest manager who was player manager at 34. But Graham had a massive experience playing the game. I mean, there was nothing he could do. His experience was a wealth of experience, and what he'd done to Rangers would revolutionise them. I just don't see this guy doing any different. I know his CV's quite good in terms of where he's coached as assistant coaches. We can go through the list: the German national squad, Bayern Munich. I actually spoke to one of my colleagues, a boy called Neil Funes, just to get a bit of insight on him, because I don't really know about him. I know his history. Neil's got one of his clients is Kai Havertz at Arsenal, obviously previously at Chelsea. So he was in the German national squad. He says he's very, very efficient in terms of his organisation, can adapt to formations, very good coach. His doubts was, can he manage a club the size of Rangers? I think everybody will wait and see in that one. I think you've got to give the guy a chance. 6 games to a dozen games in, and you can probably judge him and see if he's going to hit the ground running. But I just see him being, if I'm honest, a bit of a puppet to the two Laurel and Hardy upstairs.
Aye. Do you know, Charlie, the more and more I think about it, I actually wonder if, do you know what, is he just a stopgap before Gerrard comes back in April because he doesn't need to worry about his tax thing? I don't know if that is. What do you think?
I don't think so. I don't. I feel sorry for the guy. I really do. I feel sorry for Danny Rowe. He's probably got the worst set of players since Coutinho's time. There's no doubt about that, though. And that's down to Martin and Felwell, because Felwell said they spoke together about who we were signing. I've always said we only needed 4 or 5 that were better than we had. And instead we signed 14 players who are nowhere near as good as what we had. I've got the boy Danny Rowe's come in to have to deal with us. We've got a back 4, I think. 3 are on loan. Suitors out of contract and Tav's out of contract, I think, at the end of the season. But it's just, we're so fragile as a team. We've got so much space. We're so easy to break through. It's embarrassing. And even last night, the boys came in, and I just said it's probably the worst set of players since Coutinho. But the boys came in last night. It'd be hard to beat. At least set your team up to be difficult to beat. He's not done that. It's his first game. He's got to show the fans that, by the way, right, okay, we'll get here, we're not in each draw. And he's not done it. And that's worries me already. Because, and I'll go back to it, I said it's the worst set of players since Coutinho. But we're not hard to beat. We're so easy to beat. It's a simple part of the game. Get your boys to work hard for you and work as a unit and be hard to break down.
So last night I heard Rue, I think that's how you say his name, Rue, and it's his second name.
Oh, sausage roll, what we like to call him.
I heard him doing his press thing last night, Derek, and he was basically, somebody asked him, do you think your players are good enough that you've got? And obviously he's being a manager, he's wanting to stick up for his players and stand by them. And he's like, yeah, we can work on them. But I think it would have been better if he said, listen, there's certain players in that team that shouldn't be wearing a Rangers jersey. You know what I mean?
But Ricky's not going to throw them under the bus like the previous manager. So clearly, we all can see, you don't need to be a rocket scientist. They're clearly not good enough. Their mentality, their character. I think that's where we've made a huge mistake. We kind of think we've got good players, or they think they're good players. But what you've got to have is strong characters, guys that are really driven. They've got a desire to win football games. And we've got the exact opposite. We've got guys that think they're all right, think they're quite good players, but they've not got the mentality for Rangers Football Club.
Aye. Well, Jamie, there's
Felwell has to go. Felwell should be away with Martin.
Aye.
I don't know Felwell. I've nothing against the guy apart for the signings he's brought in. He should have been away with Martin. It's the worst 14 signings I've ever seen.
Do you know, Charlie, I've heard of a few people now that he's actually owning up to people that he didn't realise how big the job was. And he actually said that again the other day as well. He says it wasn't until you step over the line and he's in over his head. But there's Jamie, there's Andy saying, I need to take these specs off, can I see? You could have Alex Ferguson in dugout and it wouldn't make a difference. Recruiting players is a problem. Let Rue bring in his own recruitment team, then judge Rue. But that's not until January.
I totally agree.
100%.
I honestly believe that the players they've got at the minute at their disposal, you could bring Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho in. I don't see any of them making a difference because the players are not good enough. You've got to work with the players you've got. I think looking at his system, he has to change it. With the players they've got at the minute, we're very lacking in terms of the defence. I called it in the very first time I was on this show 6 weeks ago. I said the whole defence could go. Every one of them. No Rangers class, I said. It's proved any ball in the box we can't deal with. He's going to have to set his stall out in January. He's going to have to try and change his system to 3 at the back. I would probably have somebody covering that's got a bit of pace. I would definitely be covering Suter, and I would probably go with Cornelius as centre backs. He, for me, has probably been the only one that's a slight plus at the whole defence recently. And then he's not playing last night. And I'm like, what is going on here? Even when he slotted in at left back, did a good job. He's the only one that probably pass marks, and I'm being kind to him. He's still not good enough for me. But I think you need somebody sweeping behind them. You need 5 across the middle of the park and 2 up top. Now, the 2 wide players we've got at the minute, can he defend? They're not going to track back. Gassama's great going forward. So I would play 5 across the middle, and they've got to bring Barron into midfield. They have to bring him in front of the 3 as a sitting player who'll break up play and do the dirty stuff. Bring Lyle Cameron, wide right. He'll put in a shift. He's honest a days long. He's another one that's not quoted. In the middle of the park, Raskin, he's got to play in there. He cannot play next to Rodwell. The 2 of them are stepping on each other's toes. Raskin doesn't play, if you notice. He does not play when Rodwell's playing because Rodwell's trying to pull the strings in midfield. He's actually getting in Raskin's way. There's certain players can't play together. They're definitely 2 for me. And on the left, I'd probably bring young Curtis in. He'll get up and down. And see, the situation Rangers are in at the minute, you're asking players to actually put in a shift and defend and fight for his jersey. These 2 wide players will put in a shift. Then you've got 5 across the middle of the park who's honest, and they're going to put tackles in. They're going to break up play. And at the minute, I would play Gassama behind a striker.
Miovski.
And it definitely wouldn't be who we know, the 10 million man. It'd have to be Miovski for me.
Need a landfall to sweep back 4 up, man. But something's got to change, and it is awful. It's absolutely awful. If we're playing that bad, we may as well just get Fernandez in, who's no great, by the way, at $3.5 million. I think there's a few bloody brown envelopes as well. It's been a shambles, an absolute shambles. And I feel sorry for the new guy coming in. I really do. But Cavana and Maraf, or whatever his bloody name is, they've got to look at Fuelwell and go, here, son, there's your jotters, you're away. Stewart as well, bang, off you pop. It's I watched it last night. 2 of my old teams playing against each other last night. And the one who, don't get me, I love my timing brand, but the one I broke through really was hard to watch last night. Brand deserved to win. Brand were by far the better team.
100%.
And it's just so disappointing. See, Rangers should really have 9 points. Rangers should be winning these 3 games. Now we've just to play Roma, Porto, and I'm not even looked to who else we've got because there's.
Well, that team were seeded 36, bottom of the pile, and they turned us over. Aye. Again, if it wasn't for Jack Butland, it could have been 5 or 6.
I know. Derek, there's Scott in Berlin. He's saying Tav again is shocking. He's the worst captain since the 50 years I've been following the Gers. I don't agree he's been the worst captain. He has done. His stats are amazing, but last night he was poor. But he was straight on last night doing the presser as well, just saying how poor all the players were. But he didn't really kind of single himself out. Derek, what do you think about his comments last night?
That's quite right, wasn't he? It was. I think it's kind of spooked him, because he actually sees what everybody else sees in that group of players that has been assembled from the guys above. As Jamie says, Laurel and Hardy, they're nowhere near good enough. So it's actually quite scary, and it's a realisation with Tav. And I think he spoke pretty well. And it was, you're right, Ricky, he was very poor. The opening goal, Tav himself. So if you're going to criticise other people, you've got to criticise yourself. I'd like to have seen that But listen, Tabs, he's been good for us in terms of what he's obviously gave us going forward. He's always had his faults in terms of defensive wise. And it was, again, it just reappears last night. So it's something we've had to put up with. But it's sometimes a wee bit unfair. Just like, he's always been the scapegoat. But I think he's somebody that's gave it everything. You can't accuse him not giving everything. He's always makes himself available. So that's another plus point. Other guys might shy away from it. So sometimes a wee bit harsh that he gets a rough time for the fans.
Do you know, last week I put out on Twitter, it was all about Shermitty.
You've not froze again, have you?
No. You've no froze, have you? Can't beat live podcasts, especially when Derek's injured and in his house.
I don't know what he says.
I know he's frozen again. But last week I put on Twitter, somebody brought it to my attention that Shermitty's agency, or his agent, is the CAA, who are actually partners with the 49ers.
Yep.
You know, and so there's Hugh Dixon saying, do you think Theo has got a wee backhander for Shermitty's transfer fees? 15 million at Everton and 8 million from us. And Jamie, you being a football agent, you can answer that one.
I just cannot. I said it in the last show. I don't understand why they've spent £10 million on a backup striker. If somebody's coming in as your number 9 for £10 million in the SPL, has to be starting every week, and he has to be doing it from the off. No excuses, right? I listened to him in his press conference the other day, which was a shambles. And I mentioned Lauren Hardy, by the way. And I meant that because Andrew Kavanagh took the mantle in that meeting. I was quite impressed with him. He stood up and he actually took most of the questions because he knew Lauren Hardy next to him were going to get it. They were in the firing line. And he must have been sitting there thinking, this is another fine mess you've got us into. You know, he should have. He answered every question with respect. Patrick Stewart, I think, if I recall, he answered one question. He sat like a wee boy outside the headmaster's office, at his depth, waiting to get a grilling. And I'll tell you what, he's not a CEO. A club that size, an absolute joke. Right. And the other guy, Thirlwell, get obviously put in the spot with a few questions. And another quote I mentioned last time about him saying, Russell Martin was the best coach he'd worked with. We talked about that last time. He came away with a quote the other day regarding Shermitty saying that he's a top-class striker and has been for 3 years and he's got goals in him. I mean, what is he watching? I know he wears glasses, but he needs to go to Specsavers. I mean, there's a great ad for Specsavers, Charlie.
The thing is as well, the fans pay all this money every week, go away every week, and they expect better. And then they go and bring they go and bring a fourth strip out, the orange strip now. They brought another strip out yesterday. They brought another strip out yesterday. As if things haven't been bad enough. And then the strip last night as well. It's awful looking. Why don't we just wear blue? We're blue. I know I'm institutionalised, I think, the way the club's run, but just wear the blue or a white one. I'm just so frustrated and it's so disappointed in things. And it's not going to get better. It isn't going to get better. And roles just come in. And as we say, we have to support him. We want him to do well. We always want him to do well. But he's pissing against the wind, to be honest.
Like you, Charlie, I woke up this morning like angry. You know what I mean? It's like, I just think the 49ers, Thelwell, whoever it is that done the final decision, they've just picked another manager that the Rangers fans weren't really wanting. You know, so straight away, he's off to a bad thing straight away. And honestly, I can see us having another. I'm the same as you, Charlie. I hope he really does well. I can see another manager coming in before the end of the season.
Well, see, I wanted Muskie before Rowe, right? But Muskie's only here. See, if Muskie won 2 league titles, he'd be doing England in 2 years if he won 2 league titles. Just say. So he's obviously looking for the stepping stone. McInnes were kind of similar to Walter Smith. We need stability back at the club. Bring McInnes in. He'll be there for 10, 12, maybe 15 years. Win a league, lose a league, win 2, lose 2. But we're always close. We're competing at the level we should be. Maybe win 3 titles in a row or whatever. But we need stability back at the club. And there's none. There is none. And McInnes is the answer for me.
Aye. There's Derek. I think he's just at the shower now. Do you go for a quick shower there and just come back on? Aye.
I'm moving out of the ship, by the way. It's no easy when you're on your crutches, so I'm trying my best. Listen, once I'm up and fit and ready to go. I need to get myself in there because it's.
Is that really is that one of the snoodies you're wearing now?
It is.
They're brilliant, aren't they? I've got one another. They're excellent.
Nurse Carol picked it up for me last night, and by the way, she's been looking after me brilliant. Oh my God!
You're a lucky man. Anyway, Derek, I'll point this one over to you. Yeah,
gives me a good soak down. She shivers me and everything. Incredible stuff. So it is.
Too much info. There's online a guy called Unsigned. He said there's been a real snobbery of the Scottish League and players. Thelwell probably thought he could buy Championship players and piss the league. He's finding out how wrong he was. Do you agree with that, Derek?
Aye, it looks like that, doesn't it? I think. But by the way, has that not been the case in the past with so many players coming up for England and think the Scottish game is going to be an absolute doddle? And then they find out very quickly that listen, we're not going to see the qualities of the greats, but it's the pace, the aggression, everything goes that goes with our game. I think a lot of players, and as you say, they were talking about guys that are wanting to bring in players into the Scottish game. Don't think they really get it. What it takes. That's how we always talk about having a Scottish identity, whether that be the players or whether that be the staff, and it makes such a difference. So, it's caught quite a few on the hop over the last number of years, and that's what's happened with them. They've just come up, thought this was going to be a bit of a breeze, and then it's just a realisation what Scottish football is all about, but more importantly, what Rangers is all about. I think they've not done their homework basically as well. You just think they're coming to Scotland. Rangers they're a big club. Rangers are more than a big club, far more than that, and what you have to deal with, and they have not got the tools to be able to handle it.
Aye. Jamie, I don't know if it's true, but Andrew Kavanagh is actually meant to watch a lot of the Rangers fans podcasts, right? So if you were Andrew Kavanagh, or if you could send a message to him now, what would you say to him?
If I was Andrew Kavanagh now, I would say
Taxi.
That Laura and Hardy are at the last stop. I would call them in the office, and I would use Lord Sugar's favourite phrase even, you're fired. And I would get Davy Weir installed, as we spoke about last time, to guide the young coach in terms of buying, and I'd make sure that he has an input, and I would move it on from there. Because, pardon the pun, Danny will never rule as long as Thelwell's there.
You need to get a job in the Sun, by the way. So
he's been working on that, hasn't he?
No, he's come scripted.
I've got that. Yeah, you've got to buy that one off me, guys.
Charlie, obviously, you're good mates with Derek McInnes, and I don't know if this is true, but I get told the day before they appointed Drew, they actually spoke to Derek McInnes about the job. Have you heard anything about that? No,
I'm
not allowed to say.
Can't say not really, because Derek
Come on, Charlie.
Derek just said they would speak to me when he sees me, have a chat about it, but he didn't say aye or no. So I don't know. I just
Charlie, did you see his interview?
I'll ask Charlie.
Did you see the interview done with Si Ferry?
No, I never seen it.
Well, go and watch it because go and watch it. Aye, go and watch it. More importantly, have a good listen. Derek McInnes spoke absolutely brilliantly. He's everything. You know, I think the Rangers fans should go and look at that because he's everything that you would look for in a Rangers manager. And I think we were too quick just to be too dismissive of Derek McInnes. I just think he ticks all the boxes. And I think it's been a mistake of us to let that one get away. Derek speaks. Listen, he's an experienced manager. I don't want to rabble on. Go and listen to it. It's a brilliant interview.
Well, you can go and ask.
I can ask you all the same question, Ricki, Dale, and Charlie. I mean, knowing Derek McInnes, I just don't think would he accept the job?
No.
There's two noddies upstairs telling him who to buy, who's coming in, and who's playing. I seen Thelwell in the stand last week, actually, sitting in the stand with your boy Steve Smith on the touchline. He's sitting up in the director's box with pen and paper. So he must have been picking that side. And there's no way Derek McInnes will accept it.
Oh, McInnes will know.
No chance.
Thelwell won't be there by the time McInnes comes in. Thelwell's got to go. He's got to. he has to be away, and I don't like seeing people getting sacked all the time. I don't, but the club, we've had enough. The fans, everybody, ex-players, we're just bewildered by what's happening, man. And it is an absolute shambles. It's a joke. We're 36 out of 36 in the Europa League, and we've had our 3 easiest games. This could be worse than the Champions League.
I know we're breaking all the wrong records this season. Isn't it? It's bad. Derek, there's Ronnie O'Rourke saying we should get Richard Gough back in the club in some kind of form. You'd agree with that?
Gough is ambassadors. They're all ambassadors. Gough is not interested in the coaching side, I don't think.
Yeah.
Not really. Big Martin.
There's a whole host of them, Charlie, isn't there? There's a whole
all these guys are kind of back in through 5-star, like Sabari, Big Mark, Durante, and all these guys are back in, but they're not doing the coaching side of it. But if you're talking about getting Gough back in as a coach, you may as well just brought Roland, just get Barry and Dodgy the job again. But just have done something different. But the players, it's all about the players we've brought in. The players we brought in, we get rid of Dessers, who I've never been a great fan of, but he's better than what we've got now. But it looks things, and I like Miovski, but he's not getting service. Igamam, the potential was there. We got rid of Jeffy, and I said defensively he's not the best, but he's a far better player. And Magoma, who I thought started well in his first couple of games, he's struggling big time. We brought Aarons in to replace Tav. Never. And then the centre backs. Imagine being the manager of that team.
We touched on this the last time. All these signings. Now, I think there were 7 starters out of 11 last night were Kevin Thelwell's players. Signings. No one of them was good enough. That says it all for me.
Asgard.
I thought the first half of last week, you seen the real Asgard.
You've seen a player there, but for 45 minutes out of 16 games, Ricky. I mean, come on.
He's cutting the ear to the fans when he scored his goal. As if, what the hell? All right, he scored a good goal against United.
I believe we've got better players on the bench. Ajrami, I'd be playing in there.
Ajrami's got to play.
Aaron, Lyle Cameron.
Yep.
And young Curtis. Bring them in.
100%.
When do you think, Charlie, obviously new manager in, but when do you think the fans will start getting on his back? You know, or is it?
I think
it's going to be more
it's more farewell. I think it will be. I think the boys, what's he meant to do? What is he meant to do with that? Okay, just go and try and get a couple of 1-0 wins and be hard to beat, be hard to break down. But that's not going to keep my job, and it's just I'm just so flat. Yeah, I'm disappointed. I really am disappointed.
There's Bob's ice cream van there.
I'm just disappointed and upset away the things have turned out, because we were anticipating so much at the start of the season, and we're not even in November yet, and everything's done.
It's bad, isn't it? Derek, what do you think? Can a manager like Rue come in and change this team of players he's got, or is they just
he's not a manager, Ricky. He's not a manager.
Coach,
he's a head coach. So I think that's what we needed. We needed a manager and an experienced manager. And you could see like a guy like Rule coming in as a coach to go and take the players and, and give them the sessions. But it's so difficult. I think Charlie spoke about it earlier on. He says he feels a wee bit sorry for him. You can get that, because he'll be sitting there this morning before he takes a session, or whether they're training him this morning or not. His head will be full of broken bottles. He'll be going, what exactly have I got myself into? Because he can clearly see after last night that group are not good enough. They're certainly not good enough. So he's work cut out. And you look at the games that are coming up thick and fast, my God, it's going to be a torrid opening 4 or 5 games for the guy.
Aye. Jamie, obviously, like, you're a football agent, you deal with managers and all that as well, but you always hear about, if we get Stevie Gerrard, he's going to bring players to the club because of his name. Who's going to come because we've got Danny Rue? Is that a big thing? Do people think about who the manager is?
Player, for me, if I'm back playing, I'm looking at who's coaching me or who's managing me. Right? I'm not worried about a head coach, right? Because you can coach and you can be good in the grass. that boy's obviously a decent coach. You don't become, assistants to big clubs in your national team if you're a bad coach. But I just think he's used to being second in command as an assistant coach. And I think that's why Rangers have plumped for him. And I believe he was 5th or 6th, as I said, in line. Muzza, I know from Millwall days, way back when I did my first coaching job. Was it Millwall? I went there.
Who the hell's Muzza?
Muscat. Kevin Muscat, for guys that don't know that. Sorry,
Muscat.
I should have said that. So Muzza played right back for Millwall back in 2004. Dennis Wise took me along with him to Millwall as a coach. So that was my first coaching thing. So I've got first-hand experience of how he is as a person. And I knew, I didn't even need to speak to him. I knew when he got offered that job, the timing was wrong again with our board. Not a good track record of timing with things. I knew that he would not accept it in the terms that he doesn't have a say in who's coming in and out. And that's really important for a manager. We go to the top of the stairs at Ibrox, right? The marble staircase, famous. You go to the top of that. Charlie's probably been in there, signed as a player. I was signed as a player when I was 16 in that office. It says manager on it. We're no an American outfit that plays basketball or American football. We don't get down the road of having a head coach. I can accept that if Davy Weir's in charge, who's got a track record that's second to none, by the way, in Britain. The facts are all there. The numbers are all there. But Kevin Thelwell, I'm sorry. They had a player in front of his own nose. He came out with a statement the other day in the press conference as well, stating that they reckoned they were going to make a profit on Jimmy. I don't see it. Again, man, see if they're built a team around him, took him in the office and said, look, you're your best player. Make him feel a million times the player he is. I believe next year they probably got him 20 million for him. I don't think he's got an eye for a player at all.
I know. In the press conference the other day, Charlie, as well, they were talking about, obviously, they said that there was talk about the reason Muscat never got the job is because Kavanagh basically thought the deal was done. He was back to America and then it was up to Thelwell and thingy. But basically, the press conference says that's not actually true. Have you heard anything about why he didn't take the job? Or?
I think Muscat just felt in it. Not his way, but what's happening because he feels there's going to be a change of director of football and there's going to be a change of CEO. He didn't know who's going to come in after that. I'm just assuming that's why Muscat probably didn't take it because we're all over the place, not just on the football pitch, but as a club. And would Muscat want to take a chance and put his reputation in the line for that?
Come on.
The coach, I think any of the coaches looking at that. I mean, you're looking at that squad, Charlie, as a coach. You'd be looking at that going, I'm getting thrown to the lines here. It's not a great squad, is it? Let's be honest.
And I would have just went, like, okay, if I'm taking a job, by the way, I'm bringing in young ones. I'll get some hunger out of the younger ones.
I mean, I bet you January can't come quick enough for the club because I would get rid of all the loanees straight away.
The loans have to go.
Yeah, they have to go. They're not good enough. The whole defence needs replaced and they need to rebuild. Now, any coach will tell you, Del, Charlie, anybody will tell you, you set your stall out for the back. You get a good keeper. What a decent keeper. Then you build for the back. You get your defence solid. No one of the managers that's come in has started that.
You see, the thing is, we're 8th in the league. We're 6th in the league, I think it is.
Aye.
And I don't see us getting any higher. Teams just come and play against us and don't fear us. I don't see us going on a run of winning 10 league games in a row. Hopefully I'm wrong. I don't see us going and winning 2 games in a row. And we've still to go to, what is it, Pataudry, Easter Road, Tynecastle. We'd be as well try to just give Hearts your 9 points, wouldn't we?
Aye. I know. At least if Hearts win, they'll break their run. That's one way. But it's amazing we're actually talking about that just now. Derek, how you doing? Are you back again? You got your wash machine on there? He's given up. Jamie, obviously, Kavanagh says come January he's willing to put in more money to get players in. Where do you think we need to concentrate on?
Oh, absolutely. Just touching it there. The whole defence. They need to look at what shape they're going to play and then look at defence Definitely. Nowhere else needs looked at first. They need to focus at the back. We're losing. We've spoken about this. Listen, it's a different day, different game. It's the same old story. We can't deal with balls in the box. Nobody's got any leadership at the back. They must build for the back, 100%, straight away.
What about you, Charlie? Where would you focus on?
Every single player. Every single player. Even Gassama's now. And he was a bright light. So was Cameron. You've got them, you've got Cameron, and you've got Gassama a wee bit. I still believe Miosco will be a good one, but he needs service. I'm not going to throw up Tav for Aaron's. That's never going to happen. Bring Curtis in. Diamandi come back in. Raskin starts, but Raskin's not been great. Raskin's reading his own press in Belgium, whatever. I don't know. And I understand Jamie said you can't play with it off road, but you're a football player. You still get close to people.
I think they're a wee bit similar. I think
I get that 100%. I don't disagree, but you still go and get a ball and play and go and get close to people and tackle.
Charlie, Rodwell's not finished 90 minutes. I touched on this ages ago. His fitness for a professional is a disgrace.
I thought he started all right last week, but as you say,
60, 70 minutes, he's getting dragged off every week, every game. And Thirlwell is clearly trying to, play that guy to justify his signing.
And I didn't say I would keep Rothwell on the team either, by the way.
No chance.
And I'm just saying, it's a worse situation when they sacked Clement. A miles worse situation when they sacked Clement. And now it's just, I can't believe how far we went back. I keep on saying it, we only need to add 4 or 5 better players into that team and we could have won the league this year. Not 14.
Jamie, when was the last Rangers manager you had respect for and thought done well for Rangers? I'll ask you the same, Charlie, as well.
There's a wee bit of a story to this as well. Gio, I thought, got an absolute raw deal. You can go back to then. Stevie obviously left, and we spoke about that last time, which we don't need to cover. But Gio, for me, you win a cup final, you get us to Europa final. I know exactly what happened. I don't mind telling everybody. I know exactly what happened. The Rangers board at the time got influenced by Michael Beale's agent. And he said he could do this for the club. And obviously bring Michael Beale from Aston Villa to Rangers. So they get heavily influenced by that. And they bought into it. They went for the sales pitch. They went in for it. So Gio was on a hiding to nothing there. Now, I know a player at Rangers that was offered to Gio twice. Gio said no. I'll name him, Danilo. Twice he was offered to Gio and Gio did fancy him. No for that kind of money. He went, no for me. So there again, you've got players coming in, Beale's agents, I'm all for players, agents getting players. I'm in the game myself, but they have to be the right player for the club. I've had players that I just wouldn't introduce to Rangers. I don't think they're ready for them. Some of them not good enough. Some of them not got the right attributes. There's no way I'd put one of my players in there thinking, I could have put 5 or 6 to them. And I've went, no. They have to be right for the club. And this is where they're going wrong. The homework they're doing and the players coming in, they're not good enough. They're not up for the pressure pot of playing for Rangers Football Club.
Aye.
Giovanni as well, Gio. I thought the players chucked it for him as well. They kind of down tools, and maybe the training might not have been. It was just the samey all the time. Maybe I could understand that for the Dutch point of view. That it is very much samey, but
you know why, Charlie?
Oh, because they're working in their shape.
Half a dozen of them had the same agent as Michael Beale.
There you go. But the thing is, it's very samey. But Giovanni was hard done by. But the players chucked it. A lot of them chucked it. We still weren't far behind. We're still in. We were still in about it, and we didn't have as bad a players as we have now. And
look where he is now.
Yeah,
at Liverpool.
And
says it all.
Oh God.
Charlie, I think we're going to need to get Big Marvin to come back on the show and cheer us up. Let's quickly talk about Sunday's game against Kilmarnock at home. It's going to be a tough game. They're only a point ahead us in the league, isn't it, Jamie?
I think every game's a test for Rangers now. I don't think I went into one game this season and thought, will it, if we're going to turn this lot over? It's getting into every game now thinking, one, can we keep a clean sheet? Have we got the right system? Can we actually introduce, say, 4 guys on the bench? Now, the 4 guys I mentioned earlier, Bajrami, Barron, Lyle Cameron and Curtis, were not their well signings. They're all sitting on the bench. I'm sorry. That has to change. Bring them in, and I think you probably see a different Rangers side. No. But come on, it'll be a test. It'll be a hard test.
Charlie, mentality in players, and there's a saying that one of the hardest things to do is get out of a losing streak. But you were always in the winning Rangers team. But any of the other teams, did you ever go through a bad patch? And
no, like us, but no. Some of the teams, obviously after Rangers, the expectancy wasn't there to win every game. You got away and get a draw, maybe at Livingston or a Dundee derby or whatever it was. That was a decent result. It stayed a decent result for Rangers. A draw away to Livingston or Dundee is no acceptable. So it's different standards. Rangers are. I don't see. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. I don't see how we beat Kilmarnock Sunday. See, after that last night, as Jamie says, Curtis has to come in. Wee Cameron has to come in. Diamandi's got to come in. Bajrami. They are better players than we've got. Miovski has to start. We just have to go back to the basics and be difficult to beat. Working your asses off, getting close to people, and taking the ball. Ant-Man, God almighty. What the hell?
I think he needs to get a set of blinkers, Charlie, and go on the outside. He had one ball in the box last night. It was attacked. To be fair, Chamita's got to score that. And getting back to Thirlwell the other day, he's praising him and saying how physical he is. He's physically, his attributes are strength. Can you imagine Mark Hateley or Big Duncan Ferguson on the end of that cross last night? Not only the ball would have been in the net, Charlie. The defenders and everything would have went with it. And he's saying he's physically, come on.
But that's what he did. The ball came in, great. It was actually a good ball in, and he did it, and it just went poof. No pace, nothing, no bullet, nothing, just poof.
How the fuck?
Score predictions brought to you by Avia Signs.
I'm going to start the score prediction. And I wish I could be confident and positive, but I think it's going to be a bit similar to last week, Charlie. I think it's going to be do well in the first half, but then we'll just tire out. I think it's going to be 1 each. Charlie?
Well, because I'd always want Rangers to win, so I'm going to say 2-1 Rangers. But I just hope the boy Rowe gets a wee tune out the boys, and we can only pray.
Jamie?
I'm going to be going for a 2-0 win. If he plays the players, like I said, and changes the system, I think they could go and win that 2-0. I watched Kilmarnock a couple of weeks back against St Mirren. Did quite well. By the way, they've got two big lumps up front. They will bully our centre backs.
Yep.
And I'll tell you now, our defence are in for a game.
Well, Fred, that's the end of the podcast. But thanks for watching again. And Jamie, thanks for coming in again. It's always good to have you on. Thanks to our sponsors.
Cheers, guys.
Tavern, Ibrox, Plugged In Business Solutions, DB Dental Care and Mr. Singh's India, and also Avia Signs. And we'll be back on Monday at some point. All right, but take care and we'll see you soon.
Cheers, guys.